Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I have a flip showcase of the cards that I made for Halloween this year. And I am cheating a little bit because one of them is actually a birthday card, but it's Halloween themed because last year around this time I made a birthday card for one of my nephews whose birthday is right around Halloween, so that's his favorite holiday. And even though it was a birthday card, it did still have a Halloween theme that was really spooky, and I had so much fun making that card that I promised myself that this year I would actually make Halloween cards for my nieces and nephews. And so throughout the year, I've been keeping an eye on clearance sales and looking for Halloween products, all so that I could make a few cards. And I didn't set out to intentionally flip Halloween, but I kind of have, and I'll show you the cards that I've made and where I've sort of bent the rules a little bit, but essentially each of these cards does fall into either a flat, layered, interactive, or pop-up card. This first card is a flat card, although I did cheat a little bit because I wasn't thinking ahead of time that I would be flipping Halloween, and my sentiment is attached with some foam. Had I not attached this with foam and instead just adhered it directly to the panel, it would be what I would class as a flat card, meaning just, a layer of cardstock and flat dimensionals or flat embellishments. I used the Polka Doodles Spellbinding Witch Cordelia in this case, and I actually silver foiled the outline and colored it in using my Prismacolor pencils. And so you get this really cool effect of the silver foiling, and it's just got that dark, moody feel to it. At the bottom here, I just used some pastel to just give it that misty, kind of spooky green mist vibe. And this was the first time I've actually foiled and colored onto a black card, and it's a lot of fun. And I think it turned out really well. I actually have a couple more panels that I've done up, but haven't made into full cards. It's just I had so much fun with it. I have a separate tutorial video on just how to make each of these cards because, as I mentioned, I didn't set out to flip Halloween, but ultimately in the end I kind of did. So for each of these cards, if you do want to see how I made them, I'll link to the tutorial video for that card in the upper right corner here as I talk through each of them. So that is my flat card, sort of. So now moving on to my layered card, I have this here. It's a tunnel card, and I used the iCrafter tunnel card system. So it does require that you get the base tunnel card swan set, and that will give you the base die from which you cut out the rest of your kind of themed tunnel scenes. And there's 3 layers in this scene. So in the front, we've got these really spooky trees that sort of create a little frame. I've added kind of a shadow layer, except I'm using it as a highlight of silver glitter card, just so that it's not so much black. It just has that little touch of silver. And then in our middle scene here, we have the house, and I've got a glow-in-the-dark ghost that's attached on some acetate here. And what I did at the bottom here is I just used some Distress Oxide ink and just ink blended right over the black card, because the Distress Oxide is a sort of a hybrid that does include some pigment ink, so it will sit on top of your card, and that's why you can actually ink over colored or black cardstock. And then our backmost scene is our moon, which I backed that cutout of the moon with some glow-in-the-dark paper that I made, and I just made that paper by wiping my clear Versamark ink onto some cardstock, poured my glow-in-the-dark WOW embossing powder right over that panel of cardstock, and then heat embossed it so that I have a nice section of just glow-in-the-dark cardstock, essentially. And for all of my Halloween cards, I think this one being the exception, I just die cut from that to have some glow-in-the-dark elements. And then also on the backmost scene, it's a little bit hard to see, but there's an ombre of purple at the very bottom into some blue and a darker blue. So I think I used, I'll have to list the Distress Oxide ink names in the comments below or description box below. But that just gives the back of the scene just a little hint of color so that it doesn't look so black on black on black. And the back scene also has some cutouts of some bats. But what I did was actually backed that in some silver glitter card as well. So we've got silver glitter from the very front all the way to the very back. And it's a really cute die set, the Halloween tunnel card add-on. The house is really cute. It actually has these little open window shutters. So I just backed that with some yellow cardstock just to make it look like the lights are on inside. And it's great because you can fold this completely flat. It fits into a US A2 size, so I can set it over top here. So it'll fit into a US A2 size envelope, and you can ship it just like you would a regular card. It might be a little bit dimensional, but I think it's still pretty flat and will probably still ship for a single stamp. That's our layered card. Even though it has all this dimension, I would still consider it a layered card and not a pop-up card because there's no element of surprise. Everything you can just see right there. It's on full display for you. Pop-up cards I usually class as cards where, you know, all the fun's on the inside because there's a little bit of that surprise element. Okay, so then this next card, it's what I'm gonna consider my interactive card, although truth be told, the interaction is fairly simple. It's just a little peekaboo door right here that you can actually open, and there's a ghost inside. So this card I made using the Diamond Press Haunted House set. So much fun to build this house. It's totally from assembled from die cuts, and what's really nice about it is that there's a lot of detail, a lot of elements to it, and it isn't your typical haunted house in the sense that it's this really shabby, broken down house that looks really scary and spooky to go into because it's all, you know, run down and everything. This is actually, it kind of looks like a mansion almost, and depending on your theming, the colors that you choose to die cut the various pieces of the house out, it doesn't necessarily have to be Halloween. So this could be a, you know, almost like a dollhouse if you wanted, and if you picked different colors and you didn't use, you know, the spooky ghosts and all of the Halloween colors. So this, even though it's called a haunted house, I think can still be very versatile. And if you had other embellishments that were the right scale, you could even dress it up for Christmas. So I really think that it's a fun die set that is going to be multi-purpose and multifunctional outside of the Halloween season. So that's my kind of my interactive card, just because it's just got that little peekaboo door there. Then my final card, again, cheating a little bit because this is actually a birthday card, and for my same nephew who started me on Halloween cards last year. And again, it's going to be birthday themed, or sorry, Halloween themed, but on the front here, just very understated. I took a really simple happy birthday embossing folder, and this is shiny and has a very enamel feel to it because after I embossed it, I just ran Versamark clear embossing ink right over the whole panel, and then I dumped clear embossing powder right over it and embossed the entire panel so that everything has that really beautiful shine to it. The whole thing has that kind of slick embossed feel also, and or enamel feel, I should say. And when you open it up, it's actually a birthday cake that is Halloween themed. And so for this, I'm actually using a combination of a lot of different die sets. So the main cake pop-up is actually a die set from Sizzix. And so that gives you the base of the cake. That's pretty much all I used from that die set because the rest of the decorations are kind of classic cake decorations. Oh, I did use the candles. The candles do come from the cake pop-up die set from Sizzix. Then I used a variety of the various Halloween die sets that I have been collecting throughout the year during all these various clearance warehouse deals. So the fencing at the bottom here, that's from Diamond Press. The cat, the spider web, and this bat here, those are from a pretty small affordable Spellbinders die set. And this ghost, as well as the pumpkins at the bottom here, they are from the this set right here, the iCrafter Halloween Tunnel add-on. And I think that's about it. So this is such a fun card where the opportunity to really kind of go to town and decorate it, theme your cake however you like, is there for you. And look how beautifully it kind of stays open. You do have to open and close it a little bit for it to kind of get used to the motion. If you watch my tutorial video for this, I did have to play with it a little to get it to stay open like this, but as you saw there, I you know, hardly had to do anything. It does have this tendency to want to close, but you just fold it back and then you fold it almost, you know, back beyond, you know, flat, and it will stay open for you. So that is my pop-up card. So there are the 4 cards that I've made for that are more or less Halloween card themed, even though this last one is a birthday card technically. But again, if you do want to see how I made any of these cards, you can go ahead and check out those individual tutorial videos. Thank you so much for joining me, and until my next video, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye!